Good morning, Brigid Birchtree here. Welcome back to my channel. Now I'm doing something a bit different today. I'm doing a reading to honor the goddess Brigid. As I mentioned before, on a few occasions actually, Brigid is one of the goddesses that I honor and venerate, one of my primary deities, and this is one of the ways I am honoring her. And I'd like to share that with you today. So I've designed this tarot spread or oracle spread myself. It's still kind of a work in progress, but I'd like to share it with you. This is a 5 card spread. Now, pretty much the basis of this is how can I honor her and bring her into my everyday life? How can I honor my ancestors with her, using her as the deity I venerate? Okay. So the basis of, I've used 3 different decks here. The Goddess Power Oracle deck, the Druidcraft Tarot deck, and the Mystic Sisters Oracle deck. And let me explain to you before I get started why and how I use these. The first one I just used from Goddess Power Oracle as just for inspiration, a message from Brigid, just a starter to set the tone for the reading. It's just as a message. The the Druidcraft ones, I used one for each of her aspects as the triple goddess. The goddess of poetry, the goddess of the forge, and the goddess of healing. And the last one from the Mystic Sisters, I used it as just as the ending card to tie it all together and as a message to incorporate them and how I can best use them in my everyday life, just as an ending card. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, the first one I used from the Goddess Power Oracle deck. I did a review on that one of the more controversial ones, understandably why. I like the artwork. It is a very new agey deck. I don't think it was made for folkish people. But anyway, pretty much I do use the ones of the deities I venerate. So I use the Brigid card a lot. But anyway, this card does a lot of good in readings like this and in ritual work. But card number 1 anyway, Brigid, Creative Spark. I'm just going to read to you the message because it has a very good message in this regard. I can find it here. Oops. Sorry about that. Anyway, Brigid, inspiration and imagination are yours right now. Connect with your creative spark and make meaningful and beautiful experiences. Take advantage of this time. Take advantage of this time. The fiery Celtic goddess of creativity calls you. Work with her. Okay. Actually, I venerate her, but like I said, in honor, but like I said, this deck really wasn't meant for folkish people and for ancestral veneration. But anyway, still, the message is creativity. And so that sets the tone, creativity. Brigid is a goddess of creativity. Okay, now moving on. How can I honor her and her role as goddess of poetry? The 4 of Cups. Now, this is from Druidcraft Tarot. The 4 of Cups is usually a cup of stagnation. It's the cup suit, which has to do with emotion. It can deal with emotional blockage, anxiety. I'm going to go ahead and read what it says from the book here. This is a very Celtic themed deck, like I mentioned before. So if you might like this deck, it's historically accurate. Okay, so the 4 of Cups, fallow period, stagnation, limitation, lacking in inspiration or excitement. So, and this has been me Lately, I have been going through some blockage times and everything. So what it's basically telling you, um, in her role is Goddess of Poetry, that yes, there's been some creative blockages, how to handle that, honor Brigid. Maybe some time just to take some time out, think about it, work on myself emotionally. There's that time. Okay, now the Prince of Swords. This is the role as her goddess, her as goddess of the forge. Now, forge is more having to do with the working person, the craftsman. So, the Prince of Swords and the sword suit also has more to do with your intellectual matters, the way you think logically. Just to let you know there. This is also from Druidcraft Tarot. The prince usually is seen as a younger man, not as grounded as the king, not as lacking in authority. Okay, so I'm going to go right now. I'm going to read this as well. I can get there, so excuse me. The Prince of Swords, intelligent, articulate, impetuous. And this is a radical change in your lifestyle or routine. New friends may appear, or a whole new life may open up for you. Impending air travel. I hope no impending air travel right now. Haha. But yes, sometimes change is needed. Sometimes a new way of thinking is needed. Like I said, this is more of a practical card in order to get things done. You might want to, it also too depends, maybe a new job. I just got a new job, and so I've recently gone through some changes. And for balance, I like it, but I am at the same time having trouble adjusting. So it's something to keep in mind. Now the next card is the Four of Pentacles. This has to do with her role as the goddess of healing. Now usually we think of healing as medicine, which could be, very well possibly could be. She definitely was seen in that role. But also healing could be from trauma, a bad situation you've been through mentally as well as physically. A financial loss, as we're going to get to, really anything in any aspect. So let's go on to the card, which is the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles has to do with earthly matters, material matters. The suit is earth, usually financial in this aspect, but anything material. So the Four of Pentacles. I'm going to read this from the book as well. The Four of Pentacles is building wealth, rootedness, security, financial planning, business, a preoccupation with accumulation, protection, so yes. One of the key words I saw in this is true, is rootedness, building. Now, in order to heal yourself from anything, at least in my opinion, you have to have a firm foundation. You have to be grounded. I've often talked about the chakras and how it's important to be grounded in the physical plane. And that starts with the ground chakras. A lot of times, myself included, I have focused way too much on the spiritual side of it, which is very important, but I've neglected my physical side, the physical plane. So you have to take care of yourself physically in order to heal yourself. Definitely pay attention to practical matters, like finances as well. You really have to take care of your roots. In order for our people to heal, we have to get back to our roots. This is a very important card, very eye-opening. Roots are key in everything. So I would say in order to honor Brigid in the way of her role as healing, I need to help take care of roots. Definitely. Okay, now the last card is from the Mystic Sisters Oracle deck. This is another goddess-themed oracle deck, though it's not like the Power Oracle deck. It's a bit different. It has a few deity cards. Brigid is actually one of them, but it's a bit different. And I'll get to a video on that deck a bit later. I haven't done that yet. But anyway, this card is like a final message. Just need to tie it together, tie the whole reading together. So what I have here is Sisters of Harmony. Now, by the way, I love this deck as well. It really has some beautiful artwork. Okay, I'm going to read to you from this deck. One moment here. Alright, so the key words of the Sisters of Harmony are music, affinity, balance. The Sisters of Harmony exemplify a joint creative endeavor and successful partnerships. Harmony is key, and you'll need to tune into each other's voices. By blending voices, we find symmetry and perfect balance. Unity is achieved. Okay, that's a very good message. I like that a lot. That means I need to, and we, depending on if you honor Brigid or you're taking anything out of this reading, need to blend all our aspects. Work on balancing yourself, the forces around you, to work on balancing yourself, the forces around you, to be better, to honor her. So balance is always key. I've always said that. It was very important to our ancestors, and it's very important to us. That doesn't change. Some things change. Some things are constant, and balance is definitely constant. So anyway, that's one of the ways I'm trying to honor the goddess Brigid. I know some people, and I understand their point of view, readings and tarot are new agey, but this is one of my ways of making new traditions, and one of my ways of honoring Brigid, and hopefully and carrying on, tending the flame, carrying on the tradition. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll come back for more. Like I said, this is still a work in progress. I'm working on new spreads, new ideas. But I hope you'll come back for more. I thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day. This is Brigid Birchtree signing off. Thank you. Bye.